Mrs. Johnson was a woman I did not know much about. I only saw her Tuesdays when she hung her washing out. She always wore a floral dress beneath her pinafore. Mrs. Johnson lived next door to me at number 34. She hated little girls and she hated little boys. They all had too much fun and we all made too much noise. She hated cats, hated dogs, hated singing birds. Mrs. Johnson was a woman of few words. Good morning, Mrs. Johnson. Bugger off, she'd cry. Nice day, Mrs. Johnson. Bugger off was her reply. Can I have my ball back? Bugger off, she cried. All she said was bugger off, then bugger me, she died. We all had a neighbour like that, didn't we? Mrs. Johnson's funeral was the first I ever saw. A long black shiny car passing slowly past the door. She always had a fag on, which explained her nasty cough. She was only 42 when Mrs. Johnson buggered off. They say her death was such a sudden thing. She never even had a chance to bring her washing in. I waved goodbye as she passed by. I never said a word. I know what Mrs. Johnson would have said if she had heard. Goodbye, Mrs. Johnson. Bugger off, she'd say. That's what she would have said as they carted her away. Nice to know you, Mrs. Johnson. Bugger off, she'd weep. Bugger off, can't you see I'm trying to get some sleep? Behind the car were mourners, though there were just a few. A woman with a pushchair who lived at 42. There weren't too many flowers, just roses from the wall, but a bunch of stinging nettles would have been more suitable. I doubt if she had children, or else they would have come. No flowers that spelled grandma, no flowers that spelled mum. Mrs. Johnson disappeared beneath the tablecloth, but a bunch of carnations that said bugger off. Farewell, Mrs. Johnson, you're leaving us today. Nice to know you, Mrs. Johnson. Bugger off, she'd say. There's good in everybody. Bugger off was her reply. All she said was bugger off, I'm gonna die. Goodbye, Mrs. Johnson.